Show has served as a launching pad for many successful musical careers.
Under the dim glow of a single spotlight, a girl stands, face hidden behind dark sunglasses, guitar cradled like a secret. The crowd doesn't know her name. They only know her sound, raw, soulful, almost painful in its honesty. Before she became H.E.R., the world didn't see Gabriella Wilson. And maybe that was the point. In an industry obsessed with faces and fame, she chose silence over spectacle, mystery over marketing. Her music spoke where words failed. Confessions wrapped in velvet cords, heartbreak whispered through reverb. But behind the glasses was a story few understood. A child prodigy from Vallejo, California. A young girl caught between two worlds. Light and shadow, visibility and vulnerability. So how did this quiet soul, once afraid to be seen, become a symbol of truth in a world addicted to noise? This is the untold story of Gabriella Wilson, the girl who hid her face, only to reveal her heart to the world. Gabriella Sarmiento Wilson was born on June 27, 1997, in Vallejo, California, a quiet port city where gospel, soul, and hip-hop flowed through the streets. Her father, a musician, filled their home with rhythm and blues, while her mother, a nurse from the Philippines, filled it with discipline and faith. Between the two, little Gabby learned that music could heal just as powerfully as medicine. By the age of 6, she was already performing at family gatherings, her tiny hands gliding across the piano keys. Soon came the guitar, drums, and bass. She learned them all by ear, but her gift came with isolation. Other kids didn't understand the quiet girl who preferred Stevie Wonder to playground games. At 10, she appeared on The Today Show and The Oprah Winfrey Show as Little Gabby, astonishing audiences with her soulful voice. Yet behind the applause, there was pressure. Fame was knocking too early. Her parents shielded her, insisting she stay grounded, to remember who she was before the spotlight found her. In the small moments, her father's jam sessions, her mother's prayers, Gabriella began to understand the power of authenticity. Long before she became H.E.R., she learned that music wasn't about being seen. It was about being felt. As Gabriella grew older, the dream that once lived in her bedroom began to chase her into the real world. At just 14, she signed a record deal with RCA under her real name, Gabby Wilson. The industry expected another teenage pop star. But Gabriella wasn't built for bubblegum fame. She didn't want to be a product. She wanted to be an artist. Her early singles went unnoticed. Her label didn't know what to do with a shy, introspective girl who wrote about loneliness and identity instead of love triangles and glitter. The spotlight that once thrilled her now burned. She disappeared from the scene, questioning if she even belonged in the world she had once dreamed of. Then came silence and rebirth. In 2016, without announcement or photo, a mysterious artist called H.E.R. dropped an EP titled H.E.R. Volume 1. There was no face, no interviews, no marketing, only a black cover and raw emotion. The initials stood for Having Everything Revealed, a paradox, hiding to be truly seen. Listeners were captivated. Who was this faceless woman who sang about heartbreak and healing with such haunting honesty? For Gabriella, it was liberation. She was no longer performing for approval. She was speaking her truth in shadows. The world didn't know it yet, but H.E.R. had just been born. The mystery worked like magic. In an era obsessed with selfies and social media, H.E.R. became famous for what she refused to reveal. The world didn't know her face, but they knew her sound. A blend of smooth R&B, aching lyrics, and the kind of honesty that made listeners stop scrolling and just listen. Her 2017 EPs, H.E.R. Volume 1 and Volume 2, turned her into a quiet phenomenon. Songs like Focus and Best Part, with Daniel Caesar, spread across the world like whispered secrets, streamed by millions, who felt as if the singer was confessing their own heartbreak. Then came the awards. In 2019, she won 2 Grammys, Best R&B Album and Best R&B Performance, and was nominated for Album of the Year at just 21 years old. Critics hailed her as the voice of vulnerability, a bridge between the classic soul of Alicia Keys and the new intimacy of S.A.A. But fame didn't change her rhythm. On stage, she remained half-hidden behind sunglasses, her guitar an extension of her truth. She sang about self-worth, doubt, and love without filters, proving that transparency didn't require exposure. In 2021, she reached an even higher note, an Oscar for Best Original Song with Fight for You, from Judas and the Black Messiah. It was a song born from pain and protest, a call for justice wrapped in melody. From a faceless figure to an international icon, H.E.R. had turned anonymity into art, and silence into strength. She had not only found her place in music, she had redefined what authenticity could sound like. For an artist who built her career on honesty, H.E.R. soon discovered that truth comes with a price. As her fame grew, so did the curiosity and the criticism. Some in the media called her mystery a marketing trick, accusing her of hiding behind her sunglasses to create an illusion of depth. Others questioned if she was afraid to face the spotlight she once dreamed of. But behind the headlines was a young woman wrestling with identity in real time. Gabriella had spent her teenage years learning how to protect herself. Now she was learning how to exist without losing herself. She refused to trade her privacy for publicity. "I'm not hiding," she once said softly in an interview. "I just want people to listen, not look." Her struggle wasn't with fame, but with the noise around it. The more the world demanded her face, the more she clung to her art. Each song became both shield and confession. Hard place, damage carried away, stories of love, disillusionment, and resilience that spoke louder than any press statement. Yet the constant touring, interviews, and pressure to stay relevant took a toll. Behind her calm composure, exhaustion lingered. Friends recalled how she would retreat to hotel rooms for hours, writing, playing, praying, grounding herself in the same music that once saved her. Still, even at her lowest points, she refused to break character. The woman behind the glasses was never fake, just fiercely protective of her truth. Because for H.E.R., the greatest battle was never about fame. It was about staying real in a world that rewards performance. By the early 2020s, H.E.R. had already achieved what most artists only dream of: Grammys, an Oscar, respect from legends. But instead of settling, she began to evolve. Slowly, the mystery started to fade. Not because she lost it, but because she outgrew it. The girl who once hid behind sunglasses now stepped confidently into the light. She appeared on red carpets, spoke openly about her heritage, and shared glimpses of the woman behind the initials. Yet, even as she revealed more, her essence remained unchanged, grounded, humble, and deeply intentional. In 2023, she made her acting debut in The Color Purple, portraying a character whose journey mirrored her own. Strength born from pain. Critics praised her performance, calling it the next chapter of an artist refusing to be confined by labels. Beyond the screen, H.E.R. became a mentor for young women of color in music, advocating for authenticity over image, skill over spectacle. She launched programs supporting female producers and instrumentalists, a rare move in a male-dominated industry. Reinvention, for H.E.R., wasn't about changing who she was. It was about becoming more of herself. She no longer needed to hide to be heard. Her voice, her truth, had finally found the stage it always deserved. In a world obsessed with noise, H.E.R. taught us the beauty of silence. She reminded the industry, and her generation, that music isn't about perfection, fame, or exposure. It's about connection. It's about truth. From a child prodigy in Vallejo to an Oscar-winning artist, Gabriella Wilson carved a path that was entirely her own. She defied the rules of celebrity by doing the one thing Hollywood rarely forgives: being authentic. Her legacy isn't measured in trophies, but in hearts moved by her sound, in the fans who found healing in her lyrics, in the young girls who saw her pick up a guitar and thought, "I can do that too." She proved that strength doesn't always roar, sometimes it whispers through chords and quiet conviction. And as her journey continues, one truth remains: The mystery of H.E.R. was never about hiding. It was about revealing what truly matters. Gabriella Wilson's story is proof that even in darkness, authenticity shines brighter than fame. If her music has ever spoken to you, like, share and subscribe to hear more untold stories of Hollywood's most powerful voices.